Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Heather's Corner. Today is a tutorial video on how to make this kind of shirt for your BTS doll. So if you purchase my pattern in my Etsy, heatherscorner.etsy.com, I'll link it below, you'll be able to use this video to help you sew. So let's get to the cutout pieces. Here are my cutout pieces. I'm making a meme shirt with Min Yoonji from Run. I have the front, the two backs, and the two sleeves. Make sure you cut them on the stretch going across because you want the shirt to stretch across the body. It doesn't do good if the shirt's stretching up and down. And I used a white t-shirt I get at Walmart, like the men's triple or quadruple XL. You can make lots of tiny shirts out of them. They're fairly inexpensive, $4 or $5. If you need help looking for knit, because sometimes getting a yard of white knit from Joann's can run you $12. So if you have a Walmart or Target around, just go for t-shirts or go to the thrift store. It'll be fine. It's only going on a doll. Remember that. Yeah. First thing you're going to do is hem the sleeve. You're going to fold over 1/4 of an inch at the edge, just about, and sew it down. It can be a little finicky, so this is why I use the tearaway interfacing, just to make my sewing more stable. And And this is my tearaway interfacing. Make sure you're sewing on it the right tear side, because if it tears down and you sew across, you're going to have a hard time taking it off. So this is how I sew it. Also, sometimes this kind of fabric will stretch out on you, so if you use this interfacing, it stays pretty nice. And then you just sew it down, keep rolling it over. Go slow, use pins if you need. You don't have to rush. Alright, I'll come back to you when I hem these sleeves. Here are our sleeves all hemmed nice. So we're going to put them to the side, and then we're going to sew the shoulders. So you're going to take a back piece and put the good side to the good side of the front piece and sew it right there. Like that. It's okay to use pins if you need to. So it looks like that. I'll be back. Sorry, I just realized that I put the shoulder step first in the pattern. The order for that doesn't matter. You could do the sleeves first or the shoulder. It's okay. And I also have a neckband in the pattern, which you can cut out if you want. For this t-shirt, I'm not doing a neckband, so I'm going to fold this over about 1/4 inch, just like the sleeve hem, and hem it down. This, sometimes I use the interfacing because it tends to slip out on me. But that can also vary on your machine depending on how big the hole is in your feeder plate, which you'll probably be fine when you do yours, so don't worry about that. So I'm going to go hem this, and if you're wondering what that will look like on the other side, it's just folding over some. Try not to get caught up and like do that, because the fabric will want to do that. You tell it no. Alright, let's go hem it. I'm back with my hemmed edge, and I do recommend that if you find this troublesome to sew very slowly. If you have speed control, put it on medium or low. Totally fine to do. I still do that because I'll get a little heavy foot, press the pedal too far down, and ruin what I'm doing. This is actually one of the nicer hems I've done. Kind of funny. So the next step is to attach the sleeves. So when it comes to the sleeves, you have to determine which side is the front, which side is the back, because they do have two different curves. So rule of thumb is the longer, steeper curve is the back. So here would be this one, because it's going down, has to fit around the back of the arm. So we want this side to be on the back. So we're going to put good side to good side, or what I remember is always sew the sleeves with the wrong way facing up. It's the same thing. So I'm going to turn the shirt around because this is the way this sleeve goes. This is the front, and then this is the back. And it does help if you pin it down. So you pin it here, and then keep pinning it around until it fits. Something like that. You guys do tend to stretch it since it's knit. I'm going to go sew this one so you can see what it's supposed to look like. Alright, I sewed on this sleeve, and then I pinned this one so I can show you guys what it looks like on the other side. In case you're wondering what a sleeve will look like pinned, like that. If you find that the ends aren't meeting, try matching the center point of the sleeve to the shoulder seam first and see if the ends meet. Otherwise, it's okay if these sleeves are like a tiny bit off because the pattern, it fits loosely on the BTS doll. Sorry about that, lady. The pattern will fit loosely on the BTS doll, so it's okay. There's a margin of error in there, especially if you're a beginner sewer. I understand. I'm going to sew on the second sleeve and come back and show you how to do the side seams. Now that both of the sleeves are sewn on, we can sew the side seam. So the side seam is basically under the arm and down the side. So what you're going to do is match one sleeve end to the other sleeve end, and then match up the bottom of the shirt and sew that down. Go ahead, pin it if you need to, use tearaway interfacing. Sometimes I just sew these cuff ends so that they match up first. So I'll put them under like this and sew it straight down, and then it'll be ready. And it's okay if these seams here don't exactly match up. It depends on how much you took and how well you cut it. I'm not that straight of a cutter. You know, I've been doing this for years. So sometimes mine do not match up, and especially if I'm dealing with something that's not knit, they tend to not match up very well for me, but they still fit on the doll, so that's a plus. So let's go do this side seam. The side seams are done. Look at that. I'm going to open it up. Get that nice look of Minyoonji, of course. Now, the second to last step is hemming the bottom. Here you could take a 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch, depending on how short you want it on your doll. I find it a little easier to take about like this much. Just easy to work with. But really it depends. The one I have on Yoongi is a little long because they tend to wear their shirts big and loose. So it fits really. I appreciate that, BTS. Alright, so I'm going to hem this and come back. Here is the hem all done. This is what it looks like on the back. Beautiful. Now the last step is the Velcro. So the Velcro may seem a little complicated, but it really isn't. You'll get it in no time. So what you're going to do is, once you have your Velcro cut, which I will do in a second, you're going to fold back one side, doesn't matter which one, and sew one of the Velcro here. And then you're going to take the other piece and sew it the other side, but on top, because the Velcros lay over each other. And don't worry, I've done the mistake many times where I sewed the Velcro both on the same side, and you know, it's not going to work out, is it? So, let me get my Velcro to show you what I do. I buy them in these giant rolls from hookandloop.com. Got some little hair and lint on it. I have the low profile Velcro, similar, basically stuff you find in Barbie clothes. Doesn't catch on hair or the delicate seams. Not seams, delicate fabrics like satin. Won't cause tearing. So you're going to take your piece of Velcro, put it against one side of the shirt, and cut it so that it really fits under the seams where you sewed, with the hems I mean, under the hems. So I'm just going to cut it here. See how this fits? That's good. Now I'm going to cut the other side. Now I have the length, and obviously this is really wide for this doll, so I just cut it in half. And if I'm doing something smaller, sorry about that, if I'm doing something smaller, I'll cut it into thirds. But half works well for t-shirts. Thirds works well for button-down shirts or things that need a little smaller seam. Doesn't have to be exact. Totally fine if you can't cut straight like me. It's going on the back of the shirt. So now I can show you. fold over this edge, sew this piece here. And then once I did that, I'll fold over this edge and sew this piece here. Let's go put the Velcro on. Ta-da! We have our finished shirt. Isn't it adorable? You can make these plain with graphics, vinyl, t-shirt transfers. I love making them. They're super fun. You can also just use your old shirts, upcycle them if you don't want to donate or throw them away. So let's put this on Yoongi. Woo! Here's Mr. Minyoongi, Minyoongi with his Minyoongi shirt. He looks great. This is how it fits. See how it's not super tight, it's not super loose. Of course, if you want it to be tighter, you have to take in from the side. You can make the pattern longer, and you can do any sleeve length, really. The pattern comes with long and short sleeves, and I forget if it has elbow length. I haven't looked at it in a while. There you go. If you have any trouble making these, feel free to message me on my Etsy. I'm here to help you. And here to help you on your sewing journey. Thanks for tuning in. 안녕.